This is all of it on WNYC. I'm Alison Stewart. We're live in the Greene Space in Soho with a special episode of All of It for you today. It's Broadway on the radio. We're here with the cast of The Outsiders. The Outsiders is a hit adaptation of S.E. Hinton's classic novel set in Tulsa in 1967. The fight between the greasers and the social cliques, the socias, but also a fight to maintain family and chosen family. The Outsiders won the 2024 Tony Award for Best Musical. Now, a few months ago, the cast had a major cast replacement, and if you haven't had a chance to see them, you will get to meet them today. We have on stage with us Noah Pacht, Caleb Murtha, SeQuoiia, Dan Barry, Sutton James Kaylor, and original cast member Emma Pittman. And behind them, let's hear it for the band. I want to give a shout out to the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment for featuring this month in the Radio City lineup of New York Music Month. Now, if you're not here with us in person or listening to us, you can see the shindig by going to WNYC.org. We can catch a live stream of today's broadcast. Now, to set the scene, here's the cast of Broadway's The Outsiders singing Tulsa 67.
Tulsa before. I wonder what it would be like. I've never known anybody to leave. Most people get stuck here for life. My brother could have been a football star. People say he had a ticket out. My other brother suffers from a broken heart, from a girl he loved who up and moved away. We got no parents, we fend for ourselves. There's no one to show us the way. My brothers are trying, but they're always out, just working their poor lives away. My name is Ponyboy, the youngest of the three. I know there's so much more to life than what's in front of me, so I sneak into the movies just to glimpse the other side. Rather take the risk and see it than to never even try. When I am looking up and Newman's on the screen, the entire world just melts away. And for a moment I'm not worried about a thing. I just sit back and let the movie start to play. But unlike in the movies and the books I like to read, nothing in this town plays out the same. They tell me it was different back when we could all agree, but somewhere down the line we lost our way. We had places to go, we had things to do, so they took one town and they split it in two. All the money went west, kicked the grease to the east. The train ran down the belly of the beast. Here we are now, I'm talking to you. When I get to the end, tell me what you would do in a town that's torn in two. What's a greaser from the east side supposed to do? Oh, this is Tulsa 1967, and there's just one thing you need to know. You got greasers and socias, that's how it's always been. That's probably how it's always gonna go. In a town that's torn in two. That's probably how it's always gonna go. What's a from the east side supposed to do? It's always gonna go. Hey, that's probably how it's always gonna go.
That was The Outsiders. Outsiders. All right, I want to talk to the Curtis brothers. Y'all get up ready. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing well. Noah, how would you describe Ponyboy?
Ponyboy is 14 years old, growing up in Tulsa in the 60s, and he's a dreamer, he's an artist, he's a writer, and he's sort of in this world where maybe people don't understand who he is and where he comes from. The greasers have to be tough, they're kind of poor, they're bullied by the socias, and so he's a young person trying to find his way in the world.
When you come out on stage, you sit on that tire. What are you thinking about as the show gets to start?
That's a great question. Yeah, so before the show officially starts, I walk in from the back of the house. I get to kind of subtly connect with the audience and then climb on stage, sit on that tire, and I have a journal open. And we've kind of talked with our directors, with Danya Taymor and Autumn and Miranda, who are our associate directors, about what that moment is. And it has to be, the rule is you can write whatever you want if you're playing Ponyboy, but it just has to be something true. So like backstage before the show, our cast will come together, and there's usually like, Emma has these cards that have a word on them. We'll pick a word of the day, and that's sort of the anthem for the show. So usually I'll write something about that word, like simplicity or joy, it's like something like that, yeah.
Sutton, would you describe Ponyboy's role in the family?
Yeah, I play Sodapop, so I'm the middle brother of the family, and he's described at the very beginning of the show as Soda smiles all the time, even when he probably shouldn't. And so that's kind of what I take that and try to use that throughout the show to set a foundation for my character. But I really, it also is he's described as the heart and soul of the family, and kind of as the emotional glue that keeps this family together. Particularly in the second act, he does a lot of maturing as the show goes on, and the song that we'll sing shortly is a big moment and turning point for Soda in the show. So yeah.
What advice would you give Soda at this point in his life?
Stop thinking about getting his heart broken, because a lot of the show he's devastated from his ex-girlfriend who left town, and I would say move on, man, you've got so much life to live.
So Darrel, he's in a hard role, man.
Yeah.
He's got to be parent to the whole family. The parents have passed away. What's interesting to you about his relationship with his brothers and then with the greasers as a whole?
Yeah, I mean, I think, Darrel's role in the show is he's basically playing their parents, and he has to kind of raise them. I think, I don't know, what's the first part of that question?
What is his relationship to his brothers and then to the greasers?
Okay, well, to the greasers, because we already know he's the parent. So to the greasers, I think he's kind of like, he's trying to be the alpha. I think he was in charge, but I think because of the loss of his parents, he has to kind of step down from that role and be obviously a parent. So Dally has stepped forward and taken over that role, and him and Darrel don't get along about that and how he chooses to try to raise his brothers. So, yeah.
Noah, Ponyboy has to sort of narrate the show. How do you think about your performance differently when you're in the show versus narrating?
Yeah, well, that's a great question, because there's a very thin line I ride between being in like every present moment in the scene and then being connected with the audience and breaking the fourth wall and explaining what's happening. And so I think that's kind of part of the fun of the show as an actor, to get to really quickly shift between being in this world and being in this world. And so I think it's kind of like I always have one foot in both worlds, and you can kind of see how the audience is, how they're ruminating with the show, and try to connect with the people on stage. So I think it's really just about the eyes. You find the eyes of whoever you're talking to, and then the rest kind of happens naturally. Yeah.
Why do you think Sodapop just doesn't let the two brothers fight it out? Ponyboy and Darrel.
That's a good question. He does until he doesn't. Mm-hmm. I think, especially at the end of the show, once all of the events have unfolded, he kind of reaches a breaking point. And I think it's about, like, once again, like being the glue of the family. And since they're so different from each other, I think Soda is kind of what keeps us together in that sense. But why doesn't he let them? What was the exact phrase?
Maybe because he loves them.
Yeah, sure, because he loves them. Yeah,
that's what I thought. Because he loves his brothers, What's Darrel's biggest worry for Ponyboy?
Him not reaching the success that he knows he can get. I think Darrel and Sodapop's lives were kind of put on halt, and I think Soda's more than okay with that, and I think Darrel understands his role, but I think for Ponyboy, he still has so much ahead of him. He's the brightest, as we know, and I think he just kind of wants to not let his parents down. I think that's a huge weight that he's been given, but he obviously stands up to the plate because he loves his parents, and he does it for them and for his brothers, and
Now, Noah, you worked with Danya Taymor on John Proctor's The Villain, yeah?
I did, yeah. That was my Broadway debut, yeah.
And yes, and Danya Taymor directed this as well, The Outsiders as well. What was something you learned about her as a director that helped you in The Outsiders?
Dude, I'm such a big fan of Danya Taymor. I think that's part of it is I was a fan of The Outsiders just as a show before even doing John Proctor's The Villain. So getting to meet her in that audition was really exciting in its own right, just as a fan of The Outsiders, because I was like, whoa, this is the woman who made that show. That's crazy. But I think the thing that makes her really unique as a director and so accomplished is that she meets actors where they are, especially for both times understudying in John Proctor's The Villain and then coming in to a show that's already been established. That's twice now that I've worked in roles that have been originally played by someone else. And I think that's kind of it can be a tricky job as an actor if a director doesn't give them freedom to say, you have to find your own way in. And Danya does. She gives so much freedom to say, like, all of us are playing roles that have also been played by other brilliant actors. And so, like, to have the courage and confidence to bring yourself to it takes a lot of reassurance from a director, and she, I think, gives that to us.
This book really sort of established YA, young adult literature, as a serious form. Why do you think this story resonates so much with young people? We had people out there at 8 a.m. waiting to get in here.
Please go.
Well, I think a large reason is because S.E. Hinton was in high school when she wrote it, and it just speaks to the young experience so effectively, I think. And then, into our musical, we try to implement that same thing and try to connect with young audiences as much as possible in the work. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We have a lot of Broadway directors and producers who listen to this show, so I'm going to ask you, what's your dream role?
For a long time, it was Ponyboy. So now I got to think of a new one. Oh man. I want to play Robin in like as in Batman and Robin, like Robin. I want to be in the DC universe. I want to be Robin.
You want to be Robin? Okay. How about you, Sutton?
Jack Kelly was a big dream role of mine growing up, and I got to do it out in Utah 2 summers ago at a small summer stock. So that checked the box. But I suppose now I would say probably Melchior from Spring Awakening.
Hey. How about you?
I feel like, I don't know, I always, it's kind of cliche, but I feel like it's out there. Like I want to kind of build something, but I feel like in my past, I've always loved Bye Bye Birdie, and I think the character of Albert is awesome. So.
Oh, you'd be so good.
You heard it here. I put it in. It's out in the universe
now. Make it happen, guys.
We're going to hear throwing in the towel. Do you want to set this up for us real quick?
Yeah. This happens in Act 2. Ponyboy and Johnny Cade have just fled Tulsa because of something. And Darrel is trying to figure out what's going on, find them. And Dally is not providing the information. So they get into a little fight, a little tiff. And Darrel feels like he's at the end of his rope. He's losing a lot of hope, and Mr. Sodapop here consoles him. And you want to continue that?
Yeah, so Darrel's almost broken in this moment, and it's really Soda's responsibility. Like I said, this is when he's really finding the maturity that he hasn't really found in the past before. And so this is him stepping up as the middle brother without parents to take care of his older brother for the first time. And I think it's a large part of, hey, you've been there for me all these times, and now let me be there for you for the first time. And that's kind of what I think about every night. Yeah.
This is from The Outsiders.
Soda, I'm really a mess. Every night I worry myself to sleep while you're watching cartoons. There ain't nothing I can do for you. I know that Ponyboy's really got a damn good heart. Something about him that really could take him far. But I keep holding him down. I've run this family right into the ground. Maybe you'd be best without me. I don't know what else to say. I lost our brother and I lost my way. I think a fool could have done better. Maybe I've been afraid to say that I'm just not cut out for this. Just another failure on a growing list, and it's harder now than ever. It's more than I can take. There ain't no one to bail me out. There ain't no saving this now. I think I'm throwing in the towel.
On the days when you're feeling like you're torn in two, making dinner, paying bills that are overdue, you think that I don't see. You go to hell if it was left up to me. And I don't know what we would do if you were not around. No one to keep the ship afloat when it's going down. Darrel, I need you. And anyone can see that Pony does too. I know you love him. That's all you gotta do. And I don't know what else to say. I know you feel like you've lost your way, but I think you're doing better, better than you know.
To pay. What if they lock our brother away?
There ain't no way of knowing. We gotta get our brother home.
This is the darkest hour of the darkest night. You're looking up ahead, you can't see no light. But the time is now or never. There ain't no letting go.
You might feel like you're giving out. We need you more than ever now. Don't go throwing in the towel. Yeah, I know your head is full of doubt, but brother, that's what love is all about. Don't go throwing in the towel.
Someone, that's all that you can do. There ain't no throwing in the towel.
Dan Barry and Sutton James singing Throwing in the Towel from Broadway's The Outsiders. We have more music on the way. This is Broadway on the Radio from all of it on WNYC. This is all of it on WNYC. I'm Alison Stewart, and we are in the Greene Space at WNYC with a special Broadway on the Radio event. We're here with the cast of The Outsiders. If you're listening on the radio, you can go to WNYC.org to watch a live stream. And I want to give a shout out to the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment for featuring this event in the Radio City lineup of New York Music Month and for making this event free. So thank you very much. Find out more by going to newyorkmusicmonth.nyc. Now, please welcome Emma Pittman, who plays Cherry, the Queen of the Socias, and Noah Pacht, who plays the bookish greaser, Ponyboy, we'll call him that, with a song about discovering what you might have more in common than you think. This is I Could Talk to You All Night.
I was under the impression you'd never read a book at all. too wrapped up in your aggression, out on the street and fighting brawls. And now you're talking about the sunset and how the colors turn bright. Suddenly it seems that I could talk to you for hours, but these hours go like minutes. I could talk to you all night. I never talk like this with socials. We keep our feelings to ourselves. I tell my friends I like their parties, wishing I was somewhere else.
I know exactly what you're saying. You gotta fake it to belong. I'd rather read than fight a rumble, but greasers have to go along. It's like you're always just pretending. It's just a part you have to play. Feels like this pressure's never ending. There's gotta be a better way. But with you it feels so simple. Something about this feels right. Suddenly it seems I could talk to you for hours, but these hours go like minutes. I could talk to you all night. I don't want this night to end. I bet our friends are wondering where we've been. Can you imagine what they'd say if any of them heard us talk this way?
Now don't get me wrong when I say I'm surprised, but I never thought I'd see hope in your eyes. It makes me believe that there may be a chance for a world beyond the greasers and the socials.
Could it ever be?
Suddenly it seems
I could talk to you for hours,
but these hours go like minutes.
I could talk to you all night.
That was Emma Pittman and Noah Pacht singing I Could Talk to You All Night from Broadway's The Outsiders. Let's hear it for the band one more time.
Right.
Emma, why did Cherry and Ponyboy connect?
I always think it's about being honest. I think that's so much of being a person, but especially being a teenager in a place where there are things put on you and, you know, ideas put on you. But when you first walk into a room, there's a lot of masking that goes on. But for the first time, for whatever reason, honesty is what flows between Ponyboy and Cherry. And I think the ease in their honesty is what allows them to be so vulnerable with each other.
The song starts with the lines, I was under the impression you never read a book at all. Noah, what does reading mean to Ponyboy?
Reading is his escape. I think everyone in Tulsa at this time lived in a dark time and place, and there's a lot of violence between the Socias and the Greasers. There's a lot of violence within just the Socias, within just the Greasers, and I think books are a sort of fantasy escape. You know, it's like in the way people love theater. It's like Ponyboy loves movies as well. He loves anything that can take him to a new world. He's got a beautiful imagination.
There's a song in the show called Great Expectations.
Yes.
Based on Charles Dickens. Did you read that?
I did
I
read
read that
it.
on the internet, but I want to know if it was true.
It is true. When I moved to New York, I bought a copy of Great Expectations, and I wrote the opening lines of that song, which is, "Excuse me, Mr. Dickens, I've got something on my mind," in like January 2025 or something, before I had an audition, just knowing that the day would come, hopefully, and I'd be ready. So it was kind of like it was my little secret. I would like bring the book with me to the audition and stuff.
What was helpful for you to play Cherry?
Oh, I think that a lot of Cherry is true for me. I grew up in a small town in Mississippi, and I felt very, very connected to her when I was a kid, when I read the book. I also did the play version of this show when I was in the 10th grade, and I got to play Marcia, which is Cherry's best friend. And I just fell in love with Cherry. I love the idea that she was radically honest with Ponyboy and also with her friends eventually. So finding the courage to stand up for what she believes in is something that I'm not necessarily very good in personally, so it's exciting to lean into that, to lean into her every night, and also like pay homage to this like 8th grade Emma that felt so connected to her when I was so small.
There's a tradition of you handing out a copy of the book to someone in the audience. How do you decide who you hand the book to?
Oh, it's a vibe based experience. It's very much an essence thing. I think there is something magical about that moment for me, and so I don't ever want to choose it. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't ever like want to promise anyone before anything like that, because I think it should just be like the wand chooses the wizard, you know what I mean? Like it'll just kind of happen naturally. So it just depends. You know, I get to connect with the audience, and I'll see, usually in the last 10 seconds before I give it away, I'll just look in people's eyes and I'll just kind of see who needs it that day, I guess.
So many love stories are about people from opposite sides of the world falling in love. What do you think The Outsiders brings to this particular model? This is a regular trope, but The Outsiders is a little bit different. What does it bring?
I think that it brings real love in the sense of friendship and being seen rather than romantic love. I think while, sure, there is definitely a crush between Cherry and Ponyboy. I'm not saying that it's not true, but I think what is more true is their ability to see each other for who they really are on the inside. And I think that's really important for young people. I think that's why Susie wrote the book at 14, because she felt like she saw people trying to be someone that they weren't, and no one was being for real. No one was being honest. And so that's why she decided to write this, because she was like, no one is writing what I see, which is all of this violence, all of this fake, all of this, fighting for things that we don't even know why we're fighting. And I think that having this like trope of love, but allowing it to be real, I think is what's important for this story.
Yeah, I agree. I also think there's something interesting about the relationship with Pony and Cherry that, I don't know if you, tell me if you agree with this, but it feels sometimes like Pony allows Cherry to be a little bit messier in the way that the greasers are, and Cherry allows Pony to be a little bit cleaner. And it's like, I have to keep this front as Ponyboy in front of the greasers of being tough and being rugged. And I feel like there's this piece I find with Cherry of, it's like opposites attract kind of thing, whether it's friendship or whatever this kind of like in-between thing that the relationship is, there's a balance they find in each other.
A nuance.
Yeah.
Now, Emma, you've been with the show from the beginning.
Yes.
Right? What has it been like for you to watch the show grow from, oh my gosh, are we going to make it to, oh yeah, we got a Tony Award?
It's been such a gift. I think that we just hit, yesterday our matinee was our 900th show. Wow. Which is crazy. And it is the longest thing I've ever done in my whole life. And I think the thing that I keep coming back to is it's such beautiful writing. It's such a beautiful story that we can all relate to. It's something that touches people's hearts, whether you see yourself in Ponyboy or you see yourself in Bob or you see yourself in Cherry. Like, it touches you in different ways in your life. And I think that it's been so exciting to see new people step into new roles. Like Dan Barry originated the part of Paul, and now he is taking on this beautiful journey as the older brother. And it is so gorgeous and nuanced and true because the writing is so excellent and it holds people. Just like Noah was saying, Danya allows the writing and the direction to hold every single person as they are in their own characters. And that's why I think it's going to continue on and being alive and touching the hearts of young people and all people alike.
We're going to talk about you like you're not here.
Okay.
What have you learned from Emma about being on Broadway? About being in this show?
So much. Emma is like the I can't speak highly enough about. She's like the perfect example of showing up, of leadership. I feel like Emma is the epitome of responsibility. Like, you show up on time, you lead by example, you help all the new people. Like, so we had our put-in, which if you don't know what a put-in rehearsal is, it's the day before your very first show. You do a full run of the show. It's the show in every way except there's not an audience. So costume and makeup and blood and everything. And I was more nervous for the put-in than I was even for the first show. Like, I was terrified. I was freaking out. And Emma just like wrote this little note for me that I still have in my dressing room that just said, hop on the train and ride it, and it'll take you where you need to go. It's like along those lines. And that's kind of the spirit that she brings to the show. She's looking out for everyone.
Everybody, Emma Pittman and Noah Pacht from The Outsiders. We've got more music on the way. This is all of it. This is all of it on WNYC. I'm Alison Stewart. We are live in the Greene Space at WNYC with a special Broadway on the Radio event. If you're listening on the radio, you can watch us at WNYC.org. I'm here with the team from Broadway's The Outsiders. Our next song will be sung by SeQuoiia as Dally, the tough greaser who just got out of prison, is risking it all to help Ponyboy and his pal Johnny. This is Little Brother.
First they beat us down, one after another. Keep losing ground, nowhere to take cover. They want us out of town. And who would they beat on? Who would they spit on? Who would they blame it on if we weren't around? Now we're never going back. Everything is lost, and we'll never get it back, 'cause a line's been crossed. Little brother, sorry I failed you. I could not save you. No, I can't even save myself. Little brother, they cannot hurt you anymore. They cannot take anymore from me. If I ain't got you, then I ain't got nothing else. If anything was fair, you would still be here. Does anybody care when a greaser disappears? We're never going back. Everything is lost, and we'll never get it back, 'cause a line's been crossed. Little brother, little brother, sorry I failed you. Sorry I failed you. I could not save you. No, I can't even save myself. Save myself. Little brother, There's only one way out. I finally see that now. They took the only thing that mattered to me anyhow. That's why I'm standing here, no good to run away. That's all I've ever done, but now it's time for me to stay. Do it for all of us, the faces in the crowd. And when they try to shut you up, you scream it twice as loud. Do it for Cool Hand Luke, do it for Jesse James. Do it for all the unsung heroes who don't know their names. Do it for Ponyboy, do it for Johnny Cade. Don't leave a stone unturned, don't leave a dead unpaid. Johnny, I am coming home, about to take my final bow. Hope you save the seat for me. Johnny, can you see me now?
That was SeQuoiia singing Little Brother from the Outside. This is Broadway on the radio. Let's bring to the stage Caleb Mathura, who plays Johnny Cade. It's nice to see you as well. Woo! That's all I gotta say. Woo! Darrel sings in that song, Everything is Lost. How has Darrel changed from when we first meet him to that moment?
Tremendously. I think when you first meet Darrel, like, he's been running from here to there to here, and coming out of prison, thinks he knows everything, you know, and his only way to connect is through violence. Like, that's all he knows. And then he meets Johnny, he meets Ponyboy, spends some time with them, sees the family that Ponyboy has with Darrel and Soda, and like, even though they just lost their parents, I think there's something envious that he feels and wishes he could have that, you know? And then it's also like alpha male, that's his whole personality. So it's like, you know what, Darrel's over there, I'm gonna come and take charge of the greasers, you know? And I'm gonna take this off this just cause it keeps falling. And when we hit Little Brother, I think, actually at the hospital scene, you know, like when they're in the fire, and the church scene is when I think Darrel truly decides to like stay and not leave, and stay to protect Johnny, stay to protect Ponyboy, you know, because he knows, right? And by Little Brother, he lost the one thing he chose to stay for, you know, so he doesn't have any other tools. So the only way is out, you know, and yeah.
How do you see this show, Caleb, being about chosen family?
I think that it's at the root of everything. I mean, Johnny lives for his chosen family because his home life is so brutal and dark, and people like Darrel and Ponyboy, they give him home, the physical and the emotional. And I think specifically with Johnny and Darrel's relationship, they counterbalance each other. Johnny kind of gives Darrel peace, and Darrel gives Johnny that rebellion that saves Ponyboy's life. So I feel like the whole story is about chosen family. I think it's the most important part, for me at least.
SeQuoiia, you said after watching the Tonys and seeing the Rumble scene, if you haven't seen this, go home, watch this when they did it on the Tonys. It's amazing that it really struck a chord with you. What about that scene really touched you or spoke to you?
I don't think I've ever seen anything like it on stage. Like, the live rain, it was just like, I think the scenic team did such a good job of having the set feel like it's alive. Like, you feel like it's a playground where kids live. Like, you know, there's the car, there's the dirt on the stage, and you throw it, you can use it. You can use everything, and the blood and the sound effects, the lights, everything, and of course the rain on stage, and then the slow motion part, just everything. How they told that part of the story was something that I don't think I've seen. You know, I've seen Rumbles, right? Like I've done West Side, and West Side's one of my favorite musicals, and it was just immediately I was like, okay, like let's see what this Rumble is gonna be like, and then it was like, whoo, I was like, whoa,
Yeah.
you know, so yeah.
What's challenging for you, Caleb, about the setup? Because there is dirt, there is rain, so much is going on. What did you have to learn?
I think it's just navigating how to protect my body. I get thrown around a lot, and I have ankle braces and knee pads. Like, we're all we have our armor for the show. It's built into our costumes, which is nice. But just like the rakes on the stage, like there's moments during Stay Gold where I have to kind of use my peripheral to go up and over so I don't trip over something. And there's just a lot of balancing, because it's not flat. Like the gravel will naturally build up and create little pockets of bumps, and you just have to be very aware all the time.
Aware.
Yeah, and it's always changing too.
Has been a challenge for you?
Yeah, I mean, we've had certain, it's a hard show. Like we've had certain injuries on that stage. There's metal everywhere. There's fire coming out of places. Like it's just, it's very, it's
There's
everything.
rain, there's fires, all kinds of stuff going on.
Sometimes I'll get a bump and I'm like, oh, why do I feel like I'm sore here? And it's like, oh, I bumped my shoulder right then when I walked. Like there's just things you gotta watch out for. And I think, and that only takes time. Like you got to do the show, got to keep your eyes open, ears open, everything.
It's interesting. In this version of The Outsiders, it's 1967. Dally is black. I mean, Loving versus Virginia was just passed that year, allowing interracial marriage. Why is that an important aspect to his story, him being black?
Thank you for that question. I think it's interesting because the story is about class. And you don't leave the show being like, oh, this is about race, but it's there. Like, Dally is a black man. there is police brutality in the story, and there's also the vulnerability that Dally gets to show at the end in Little Brother is like everything, and I feel like staying true to the kid essence and showing how a young black man is at this time, and you are this vulnerable, you have the power to be this vulnerable, you could find family this way, like, and it's also like majority of the greasers is we're sort of all people of color, but the main family are white, so and it's like there is still this like brotherhood that he feels with Ponyboy, and despite the times, despite everything, I think that's the power of the story and the power of the love that is shared through like young people. So yeah, I'm sorry, kind of going on a tangent, but like it exists. And I think something that I've recently learned is like, yes, the audience might feel it's like, oh, it's class. But like for Dally, it's about race as well. Like that doesn't not exist for him. Like it's very apparent. That whole scene with Darrel, he starts pointing the fingers at oh, you should be locked up, all these things, and it's like, oh, this exists. You are a white man, I'm a black man, and I'm still gonna choose to take care. It's just all these things. So I'm gonna just let it at that.
It was all good. Thank you so much for sharing and being candid about that. I heard that you made a voice memo to yourself that you would be in this show. Is that true?
Yeah, I saw the production in La Jolla in San Diego before they went to Broadway, and as soon as I left the theater, pulled out my phone, and I was like, I got to play Johnny Cade one day. Similar to SeQuoiia watching the Rumble, I had just never experienced anything like that in a theater before, in my life before. And I was second row, and I just remember just being so in awe and feeling this very strong connection to Sky, who originated the role, and Johnny as a character. And just, it was wild because I saw the show on March 1st, 2023, which is also, I found this out a couple weeks ago, Johnny Cade's birthday, because Susie has birth dates for everyone. And I shadowed Sky for the first time on March 1st, 2026. So there's 3 March 1st that just keep popping up with me and Johnny, which is wild.
There's something going on with this cast and the universe and setting stuff out, putting stuff out there, right?
Yeah.
There's a moment in the show when you're on stage, SeQuoiia, and you're not lit, and the audience can't really see you, but you can kind of see us.
Yes.
What do you get to see in those moments?
Oh yeah. That's my favorite part. I see people in the front row literally singing like straight to Ponyboy everything that he's singing right back to him. Like everyone, there's someone crying over there. There's like a child holding their parent's hand, like squeezing it. Like it's so beautiful to see how the show touches people, and that's the moment that I think I can see it. There's not many moments as Dally where I can like, okay, I can just connect with the whole. See, okay, that person's asleep. No, okay, that person. You know what I mean. But yeah, that is Great Expectations. That moment, it's really cool.
All right, Noah, I want you to come on deck. Caleb, we're about to hear the song "Stay Gold." It's the song where Caleb tells Ponyboy that he understands the meaning of Robert Frost's. Let's hope he gets it set up. Where he understands what Robert Frost's poem is about. Caleb, what are you thinking about when you sing this song?
I try to just be as present as possible. I think it's easy to just think about the lyrics and not forgetting anything, but I found that just looking at Noah and being as dropped in as possible is kind of all you need for that moment in the show. Yeah.
This is Stay Gold from The Outsiders.
I have had some time for thinking. Swore I wasn't ready to die. Turns out I was wrong. It might sound crazy, but hear me out. It may take me to the grave, but I know what your poem's about. I have seen a pool of blood run crimson red, and I've seen the sunrise coming overhead, finding beauty in the fold. It's the only way to keep from growing old. My friend, stay gold. When you're young and the world is new, it's easy to forget when you're trying just to make it through. Like the morning light and the dawn it brings, you see the world finding beauty in the simple things. I have looked into a thankful father's eyes, telling me I saved his daughter's life. I'd do it all again, 'cause I have found the beauty in the fold. My friend, stay gold. Looking back at the life I've had, I hold on to the good, 'cause I've made my peace with all the bad. 16 years, look at all we've done. Wouldn't trade it for the world, can't you see that we're the lucky ones? I have known a love that many never know, and that love lives on no matter where I go. We all will meet our end, no matter if we meet it young or old. My friend, stay gold. My friend, stay gold.
Thanks to the cast of The Outsiders. Noah Pacht, Mathura, SeQuoiia, Dan Barry, Sutton James Kaylor, and Emma Pittman. Let's hear it again for the band. You can catch The Outsiders on Broadway. You can catch this event on our live stream. Thanks again to Team Olivet. Simon Close produced today's events and our Broadway on the Radio series. Thanks to Ryan Wild and the whole team at the Greene Space. Thanks again to the Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment for featuring this event in our Radio City lineup of New York Music Month. I am Alison Stewart. Thank you so much for being here. Stay with us. We really appreciate you joining us here on our Broadway on the Radio series events.